Thank you, Dean Hill. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kuvimbanashe Chikukwa. Now, I want to be completely honest. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do this. A couple of my friends suggested it, but I still wasn't convinced. So I did what every millennial does when they need to make an important life decision. I created a Twitter poll. 44 people voted. 43 said yes, 1 said no. But during the poll, a random person said, "Sir, you might miss out on an opportunity because you're not feeling it. You need a whooping." And just so we're clear, it was definitely the whooping part that motivated me to do this. But in all seriousness, she was right. This was an opportunity. And first, I'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate the amazing class of 2019. Today's our day, and throughout today you've heard each speaker summarize the magnitude of the feat you've accomplished here. Yet this is also an important opportunity to reflect on what I personally believe is the most important lesson UCSB has taught me, that we are here because of the sacrifices of others. I'll tell you all a story which I believe exemplifies this. I was in my freshman year, barely finishing my first 2 weeks at UCSB, when I was approached by this white lady from Alabama named Holly. She was a teacher's assistant for the African history class I was taking. Now, if a lot of you are curious as to how a white lady from Alabama ended up teaching an African history class, trust me when I say this, you are not alone. But then again, this was UCSB. I had seen some of my fellow upperclassmen come up with elaborate schemes of how to sneak tortillas into soccer games. So clearly, I am the one who had to open my mind. However, when Holly approached me, what shocked me was how direct and aggressive she was. She said, "I've heard you talk. I think you're smart, but you need to get organized. Do you want to go to graduate school?" All I could think was, "Lady, I've been here for 2 weeks. Can I pass the class first?" But she persisted. So I politely told her I'll think about it, but what I meant was no. And when I look back on my entire collegiate experience, that's the decision I regret the most. See, it's funny you're cheering for that. See, I had a plan, which I had worked out all by myself. I knew exactly which major, minor, and extracurriculars I would take. I was a part of a class that was 42% first generation, a class that recorded the highest GPAs and test scores in UCSB history. A class that had seen UCSB become a top 5 public institution. So if there's one thing I knew, was that I was smart enough to figure this out on my own. In chasing my American dream, I had fallen for what I call the American trap. We see this trap in business, in politics, and even in education. This trap is exemplified in our society by the way we celebrate a few messianic individuals in a manner that erases the work of teammates, minorities, and marginalized communities. I call it the American trap because if you fall for it, you will continue to live under the assumption that you don't need help. I fell for this assumption that day when Holly reached out to me. I said no to hers and everyone else's help for the next year. And then for the next year and a half, I was depressed. I was failing school and dealing with the unresolved feelings about my father's death. Ladies and gentlemen, I was in a dark place, and very few people knew about it. But at some point, the emotions became too overwhelming. So I had 2 options: either transfer or go see that aggressive lady from Alabama. I swallowed my pride and made the best decision of my collegiate career. I went to see Holly. And as of today, I'm graduating with honors, receiving an outstanding senior award, and leaving behind 2 mentorship programs that have been institutionalized at UCSB's campus. I'm also proud to announce that the California legislature has approved the campaign led by my friends and I to provide $10 million in summer tuition funding for low-income students so that they can graduate faster. got you. I tell incoming freshmen this story because I want them to recognize how a strong support system can make the difference between realizing their intellectual dreams or suffering in prideful silence. See, here at UCSB, we have a saying that every incoming freshman who goes through orientation hears. It's based on the fact that our mascot is a gaucho, which is an Argentinian cowboy. The saying goes like this: I gaucho back. It is most definitely the corniest thing I've ever heard. But the values ingrained in that statement are powerful. It's the idea that the moment you accepted your offer from UCSB, you became a part of a community. And as a member of this community, you make a commitment to care about the needs of those around you. So in closing, I want to take this opportunity to encourage the class of 2019 to hug, kiss, and appreciate all those people who've made sacrifices for us to be here. And as a person privileged with this honor of speaking on behalf of the class of 2019, I'd like to thank our friends, families, and faculty for having our backs. Thank you.